Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link and my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Aquarius, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy will be from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and at the end I will read from the book. And for the tarot portion of your reading today, the Muse Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. This is for Aquarius. Angel, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for Aquarius, please? Thank you. Number 21, which corresponds to the World card of the Major Arcana of the Tarot. Major Arcana, first 22 cards of the Tarot deck. Starts with the Fool at number 0 and ends with the World card at 21. World card talks about chapters closing, cycles closing, new chapters beginning, new phase of life beginning. The card that you got is Clean It Up. Clean it up. Now, Aquarius, I don't know if this is referring to something that you have to clean up that was somebody else's mess, because that's immediately what Spirit gave me. You're having to clean up something that was someone else's mess, but perhaps it was yours. Or perhaps you're just trying to tie up loose ends, Spirit just said. A clean break. It's interesting because I don't know why. So in all the cards in this deck, there's always this kind of face, kind of hidden within the imagery. There's a face right there in this, I don't even know, reindeer. And for some reason it reminds me of George Washington and Mount Rushmore, especially because of the rock formation here. Mount Rushmore in the United States is a big national monument that has 4 faces carved into it. I honestly can't remember if George Washington is one of them. I'm assuming he is. It's very terrible that I don't know, but I'm going to admit to you, I can't remember. So George Washington was one of the founding fathers of the United States. He was the first U.S. president. George Washington could have some significance to you. Your name could be George, your last name could be Washington. You could be from Washington, D.C. or Washington State. Take it as it resonates. Spirit just said GW, like the GW Bridge. There's a GW Parkway in Washington, D.C. There's a GW Bridge in New York City. Not really sure where that's coming from, but that was very specific. Spirit wanted me to mention it. Anytime we think about tidying up, it's almost as if to suggest that our space has gotten out of control. Maybe our energy is chaotic and scattered, and we need to tidy things up so that things can make sense again. You ever notice that when you clear your desk, you can think better? Could explain why my desk is a mess. Right? Your surroundings are representative of your inner landscape. So Spirit wants you to take a look at your surroundings and ask yourself if it matches your inner landscape. And if it does, do you like what you see? And if you do, great. If you don't, then it's time for a change. It's time to, put things in order again. for yourself, not for anybody else. If it's a situation, how did we get here? Spirit just said, how did we get here? Going back to the root cause of something. I don't know why, I'm just gonna go with it. I have this like die that I found on the ground, and Spirit wants me to roll it for a number for you. Never have done this before. 14. 14. 14 in the major arcana of the tarot is the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy. And it talks about patience. What it also talks about is transmutation. Transforming something from one state of being to another state of being. So it could be your space. It could be something else that you're trying to clean up. You're trying to transform it. Take it as it resonates, but that feels very clear. And whatever first came to your mind, whatever person or circumstance or situation, that's the thing. And you don't have to question it. Whatever was the first thing, the first person that came to your mind when I started saying clean it up, and do you have to clean something up that somebody else did or you did or whatever that was, that's the thing we're talking about. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. There's no past, present, or future in this series of readings. I'm just taking a temperature on what's going on for Aquarius at this time. I am only taking uprights in this reading. At the end, I will pull a card of advice from Spirit. Yeah. And then I'll read from the book to sum up the reading for Clean It Up. I really thought the Temperance card would pop out, but it did not. Maybe later. Okay, 6 cards out on the table. The first 2 cards that came out. The Ace of Emotions, or the Ace of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. This card has been, I think it's made its appearance in like 5 readings in this series, and I very thoroughly shuffle these cards, so 3 of Cups just wants to come out. So the Ace of Cups talks about, well, aces bring new from Spirit, new gifts, gifts from Spirit. And this is talking about a brand new chance at new friendship, new love, new connection that is intimate and beautiful and authentic. And it's a blessing from Spirit, and it's really, really beautiful. Anytime you get an ace in a reading, it's a beautiful thing, because it shows that it's like Spirit kind of giving you gift, like on a silver platter. When I did this, you know, Spirit wanted to remind me, Aquarius, are your hands open to receive? Are you free to receive a new blessing? Because it's a new blessing. I see here that all of their hands are full. It's almost like your soul tribe. Here's your soul tribe. And they've got their own blessings. It's time for you to have your blessing. And maybe it requires you to make space for it. Right? The World card inferred here with the number 21. Closing out a chapter to open a new one. Could be a relationship we're talking about, a connection. I gotta tell you, I'm feeling, so this weird thing happens to me, like physiologically. Sometimes when I read tarot, like my ear starts ringing in this ear, it's my spirit guides. If my ear starts tunneling and kind of muting, it's your spirit guides. But every once in a while, I'll feel this like pressure on my eardrum that feels like neither of those things. And it tenses up like this area of my face. And it's like vibrates in a very, it's like something rattling, and it's very uncomfortable. And anytime I feel that feeling, there's resistance from somebody who is watching. And that's not something that you're doing to me. It's just energetic, right? And it's uncomfortable. Sometimes I've read for people where that feeling was so uncomfortable that I had to stop the reading. Because clearly that person was not ready to receive the message. So if something in this reading is triggering to you right now, just turn it off. It's okay. You don't want to hear it. You don't have to hear it. You have free will. But I do feel resistance from somebody who is watching right now, and that's okay. I mean, I don't know what you would feel resistance to. Maybe the fact that Spirit said you need to clean something up or you need to close something out. But they want to bring in something so spectacularly for you. But it's hard. You know, I was in this leadership training at work the other day, last week. And so I hear emergency response vehicles. Anytime I hear sirens, it's a very important message that Spirit's trying to convey. So I was in this leadership training, and the proctor was asking what was the number one barrier between you and greatness, or you and great leadership within your own life. And her number one barrier, hers, the proctor, was the fear of success. Sorry, so my throat chakra is closing. Sometimes the fear of something succeeding is terrifying. I don't want to be like, I don't understand that at all, but maybe there's a certain aspect of me that understands it a little bit. Not so much that I would call it my number one barrier to great leadership in my own life, but mine is rejection, just if you were wondering. But yeah, she said hers was success, and it was very profound to hear that, because she's enjoyed or gained a lot of success. She's worked very hard. So that could resonate with you. Oh, so I'm going to pull a card for the Ace of Emotions. What's this brand new thing coming in? Emergency, emergency. 10 of Voices, 10 of Swords. They're not showing me what's coming in right now, because this is the chapter you need to close. So the suits of the tarot, there are 4 suits of the tarot, right? The Swords, the Pentacles, the Cups, and the Wands. Your suit, your element is air, and it's represented by swords. In this deck, they call it Voices, because it's all about thoughts, right? Thoughts. The suits run from Ace to 10, and then you have the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King. In order for you to experience any kind of Ace, you have to go through all the way through to a 10 and then jump back to the Ace. Spirit is not actually, Spirit is showing me that it's wonderful. It's something that you're going to celebrate. But what they're saying is you have to let go of something that has been plaguing your brain space for so long now, that it's become this thing that has almost debilitated you. 10 of Voices, 10 of Swords is not easy energy. It's like we've been flattened. There's just nowhere left to go in this line of thinking. There are a lot of sirens. There were no sirens for the other air signs. So I just want to point that out to you, okay? Yes, I live in a city, but the police cars don't always go by. It's significant. Everything that happens during the space of this reading is relevant. So you know what chapter this is that you have to close, because it's been burdening you this whole time. And yes, it's giving you a lot to think about, a lot to contemplate, but at some point you're going to have to let it go and like move on with your life. Now, I'm not saying that to dismiss anything. The skies are getting dark. It feels very chaotic. There's more police cars. The sky is getting dark. Things feel very chaotic in the moment. I don't edit the readings. If it continues like this, I'm sorry. It is very distracting. I'll pause the reading, but like, I don't want to, you know? Like, how many cop cars do we need? Like, how bad is it? How bad is it? It's pretty bad. But Spirit is saying, because it's in the realm of thoughts, you are empowered to let this go. I'm not telling you what to do. The Spirit's not telling you what to do. I'm just reading the cards here. What awaits you is something really beautiful. I'm sorry if it's very, very dark. I'm just going to try put some more light on me. I am reading kind of at night. Now it's turning into night, but it's going to rain. The sky, it's very hot where I live, and the sky is about to burst. So I'm sorry if the lighting is weird. How do I know how important this is? You got two of the toughest cards. 10 of Voices, 3 of Voices. 3 of Voices is the 3 of Swords, the heartbreak, heartache card. I want to remind you that all of the cards are temporary. This is just taking a temperature of where you're at right now. You make decisions every moment of every day that can change the course of your life. But sometimes we don't pause enough to reconcile what it is that we're feeling in our heart and in our intuition. And so take this reading, if you're still here, allow this to be the pause to acknowledge for yourself that some part of your circumstance has made you unhappy, truly unhappy. And you are now in a position to free yourself, alleviate it from your life. I don't know how, but 6 of Voices, 6 of Swords shows me that you're moving from choppy waters to calm waters. Maybe this is simply a matter of you asserting a boundary that you like, and I'm not saying that this is the exact circumstance. I'm just using it as an example. There are some grown children that have to break ties with their parents because they grew up in homes of abuse or in relationships of abuse or narcissism or whatever it is, and they break contact with their parents and they never speak to them again. I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying this is the example that Spirit just put into my mind, where sometimes you have to, as an adult or a young person even, you have to say enough is enough. It's important. I don't know. It's like crucial. There's a relationship or a connection or a circumstance that is not serving your best and highest good. And Spirit is showing me that you are going to leave that situation. Could be a marriage. You have your own free will. You are responsible for your choices, okay? This is just a tarot reading. You are responsible. And I just want to put that out there very clearly. You are responsible for your own life choices. However, these 2 cards suggest to me that you're moving away from something that is making you profoundly unhappy. And good for you for doing it, if you are doing it. And then, because you've chosen to clean up this situation, what happens? You get this number 12 card, this much needed perspective on things. And here's the open third eye, the all-seeing eye here. The Hanged Muse, or the Hanged Man in the major arcana of the tarot, Pisces, Virgo energy, talks about like needing to take a 30,000 foot view. Just step really, really far away from a situation. Like, okay, for example, if this is like a situation, like, let me just use that same example of like, I'm saying goodbye to my parent that's abusive to me emotionally. I hope not physically, but emotionally. Like, it's just so toxic. Or a sibling, or a spouse, or this, or that, or a friendship. It's so toxic to me. When you actually close that cycle and you say, done and done, and then you look back on it, there's a part of you that's going to be like, how did I ever allow this to continue? Don't blame. Thank you, Spirit. It's very important that you don't blame yourself. I think it is very important to talk to somebody, like professional. I was just talking with a friend about this today, this concept, because we were making, we were having brunch, and we were just having girl talk or whatever, and we were talking about like people we've dated in the past and like exes and et cetera, and just, or people we had crushes on when we were younger. And I was talking about this one guy that I had a crush on way before like I met my person, right? My twin. And what a mess that guy was. Right? What a mess. What an absolute chaotic mess of a human being, right? Does he not deserve love? I'm not going to say that. But what did I see in him? I attracted what I was. He was always nice to me. It's not about that, but not right for me, right? Not right for me. Why was I so attracted to him? What was it in me that was yearning for that kind of affection, attention, whatever it is? And I looked back on it. I mean, that experience at this point was like 15 years ago, or maybe, 10, 15 years ago. And I looked back on it and I was like, oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Because my friend was like, what was that guy's name again? And I told her the name. She goes, oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, what a disaster. What a disaster he was. And what a disaster I was for liking him. And my poor friend had to endure all of that. This is how you know who your ride or die friends are, because they stick with you when you're being absolutely ridiculous. And that's very, I mean, I'm going to tell you, at the time, 1,000%, it was this for me. And I'll never take that away from my younger self, right? I felt this so profoundly. I made myself sick. I made myself physically sick. And now I look back on it and I was like, whoop, I jumped that hurdle. Ugh. You know, because you can look back on something older, wiser, and just like, oh God, no. And then what happens, Aquarius? The Wheel of Fortune, number 10 in the major arcana. Once you get that perspective and that sense of freedom, you cut the cords, you let go. Easier said than done. You're in the process of cleaning up. And once you do, the Wheel of Fortune, good luck, divine timing comes into play. And then it's like, okay, we've cleared out the blockages. We're in alignment with our path. We're having all sorts of spiritual awakenings or revelations. And then the abundance that we so beautifully deserve start to come in for us. And that's where this comes back. This is what's waiting for you, Aquarius. I'm going to read from the book, number 21. Clean it up. Clean it up. Getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. Ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Too much work? Overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment. Every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. A tough message, Aquarius, but I hope that it resonated, and I hope that you're able to free yourself of whatever burdens are upon you at this time. If this reading resonated, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Aquarius.